Coming to you from Rockingham, IPL Radio.
And we're back. It's just nearly 1:30, and we've got a special guest in the room.
Yay.
Dave from the Body Consultant. How are you going?
I'm good. How are you doing?
We're good. We're good. So you've come here as a recommendation,
Yes, I have
which
indeed.
is always
Yep.
good. Do you want to tell us a bit about the Body Consultant and what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. So we started off in 2014 at Jollymont. So Jack and Jimmy founded that, and then branched out, had 7 gyms at one point, and then I started working as a coach at TBC Jandakot, and then they knew that I wanted to buy into the business or have my own space. That was one of my goals before I turned 30, was I wanted to have my own studio. So then bought into the business, was a minority shareholder, and then just literally probably 6 to 8 weeks before COVID hit here, Jack and Jimmy decided to sell to each minority shareholder. So now, so I bought them out during COVID.
That was very brave.
It was. Obviously, we had no
How
idea.
was he supposed to know? Like,
Was it
literally-
during COVID or before
Before.
COVID hit?
So they sold just before COVID hit, and
Wow.
then I was planning them out during COVID.
Oh, wow.
So that was on a 2-year plan.
Mm.
So that literally just finished in April 2022. So now I own the TBC Rocket.
What did you think then when you invested all this money in a gym and then COVID hit? Were you like,
I was a bit, obviously, we were all nervous because we didn't know what to expect, didn't know
Yeah.
how long that major lockdown was happening. But to be fair to like Mark McGowan and the government, they gave us quite a few grants, and like Synergy gave us a few grants. So that was obviously we actually got very
did you
lucky.
end up getting the JobKeeper?
Yes, got the JobKeeper. Synergy gave us, I think, like $1,500 credit, so I didn't have to pay Synergy for like probably close to 18 months.
Wow.
So just all those little things.
Yeah.
The ATO, we had a credit as well from them. So yeah, I think obviously as we didn't really get many cases compared to like Europe and over East, I was quite confident, we'd come out of it stronger. So yeah, it was definitely a challenge, and life, it was definitely, it was an amazing life lesson, to be honest. Like dealing with all that kind of stress and not knowing what's going to happen on the other side, and then obviously we had a couple of like smaller lockdowns like the week.
They were kind of more frustrating because like the big one was a federal level. So they brought in JobKeeper to keep that going and stuff. But the little ones, like if it was a week or something, that could seriously damage your cash flow, but there wasn't a huge amount of support for that.
No, I think we had a week. Credit, but at the same time, we was doing really well. So we had the fires. I think they were down south somewhere. So we actually gave our credit and donated it to the fires because,
cool.
like, we were lucky enough to be in a position where we could do that. So, those weeks were a bit annoying because it kind of disrupted our flow. But I understood at the time it's not just about me and the gym. It's about the society and WA and everything else. So it just like I said, disrupted the flow, but at the same time, you just got to learn how to adapt. And so what we did, obviously we work in person and face-to-face, so we just went online for the week and just adapt. And then they also bought some equipment from us as well, which they could use at their own home and do their own thing as well.
Awesome. So what kind of things do you do at the gym? What things have you got?
That's a very good question. People always ask me that.
Sorry for being normal.
Yeah, we're very much, we do, so TBC was one of the first to do semi-private personal training, which in a nutshell is anywhere between like 6 to 10 people per class. And we like that model. You get your boot camps, you get your 30 people in a class, and I find that you can't really coach that many people in a 45-minute session.
Yeah.
It's just too crazy, it's too messy. People don't get looked after. People more than ever now need that accountability and that one-on-one coaching. So what we do is we do like semi-private training. So up to 10 people per class. We do a lot of nutrition, like nutrition guidance. We've also got like a nutritionist that we deal with and we can send members to and stuff like that. So because by law we're not allowed to give nutrition like meal plans and such.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so we have someone on the back end who we deal with. But yeah, I think the biggest thing that we do is the accountability. You know, for example, just the little things like we'll call people on a Wednesday if they haven't turned up to the gym all week.
I can tell you that happens.
Many a time.
I get the text message.
Why, Sarah?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Where are you?
yeah, pretty much.
Where are
Just and just those things. And we've also got a really cool accountability group on Facebook. So that's where all our members go in there, and we'll celebrate big, members' wins. We'll do like a Q&A. And just like again, just all about the community and accountability, and they go hand in hand.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I feel like I'm very lucky that I can say we've changed a lot of lives. You know, it's not just about weight loss. It could be someone from drinking or 10 coffees down to 2 coffees.
Yep.
Or someone's able to tie their shoelaces without passing out. Just little
It's
things
always
like
good.
that. Yeah, So we're not just a weight loss facility or anything like that. We improve people's health, and like actually saying I'm actually very proud. We've got, and I've got nothing to do this, but we've had 8 members become pregnant where they've failed before in the past.
Oh, okay. So getting the weight down
Correct.
has helped them.
Yeah. They've become leaner, so they're more fertile. They're healthier. They're making better decisions. They're not, drinking the coffee or the Red Bulls. They're not having the Uber Eats. They're just making better lifestyle choices. And then so far, we've got 8 members who have lucky enough to become pregnant. So.
That's awesome. I'm glad you put the caveat. There's nothing to do with that.
Well, that's what I want to get across there. Yeah.
Very clear understanding.
Yeah.
That's not quite. Well, that's not the services we provide.
I just want to get that out there now. So yeah.
No, that's really cool. And it sounds from what Sarah said that it's a very friendly, non-judgmental attitude that you guys have.
Yeah.
And I think that you said it's not just the weight loss, but I think when you lose weight, it helps with confidence and self-esteem.
100%.
So have you seen a lot of that in your clients?
Yeah, so first things first, we don't have any mirrors in the
Oh,
gym.
wow.
So that's number one. But I find that it's just a natural progression once people start to lose, a couple of kilos, 5 kilos, they just tend to have a lot more body confidence about them, which they didn't have, 6 weeks ago, 6 months ago. So, like I said, we're not really judgmental, but we find that a lot of people have that self-esteem again. That's probably one of the first things that we notice is that as soon as they drop like their 2 to 5 kilos, they just start to have more energy and they start to look better, and their dress sizes are like too big, so now they have to go smaller, and same with the guys as well. So their pant size is, whatever, so they just get a new size. But we find that's a really cool thing, and we like to celebrate that as well in the accountability group, and just I think people need that acknowledgement as well and that gratitude.
So what kind of sessions do you have? Like it's in the morning, afternoons, night?
Yeah, so we have like 6 classes a day, and they're all the same. And they're all basically we do a lot of strength-based training. So there's no there's no burpees, or there's no heel sprints. There's none of that. It's basically just you have 6 primal movement patterns that the human body is designed to do. That's like squat, that's lunge, that's deadlift, that's push, pull, and carry. And so what we'll do is we'll focus on all 6. So, and it's like a full body movement or full body session every day. So, we've got classes early doors from 5:30 and 6:15 to the same again in the evening, 5:30 and then 6:15 again. So, people can come to whatever class suits them on the day. Saturday's a fun one. Saturday we've got one class at 7, and that's a bit more of a should we say higher intensity. So, because we only have one class, so then what happens is we have people from all different classes come to that class on Saturday. So we like to do lots of team events, and we'll put them in pairs, and we'll do team games, and then pretty much every last Saturday of the month, we take them out for coffee. So we just go up to one of our favourite spots at the moment, it's Central Block, just on the foreshore. So we tend to go there after Saturday, and I just buy them a coffee. But we also do barbecues and stuff like that as well.
That's awesome.
I'm finding it a really comfortable environment. I've been to a few gyms in my time, and this is by far the most comfortable I've ever felt. But the key thing that sticks in my mind from my experience is now being middle-aged and having had a few sports injuries and other injuries throughout my life, there is such a good focus on technique because the numbers are so small. And the trainers are constantly checking to make sure that you're doing the right thing. So I always would find when I would go back to a gym having had a little bit of time off or because something was, I'd often get injured because I've got some funny joints going on. And I haven't had that with this experience is because the focus is technique, and so you know that you're doing things correctly, which I think is great. And because of the focus on the strength, everything else comes after that. Like I find, like if you focus on, because strength holds everything together.
Correct.
It holds your skeleton together. You build muscle. It helps with, muscle then helps with.
Improves your posture.
Yeah,
and
everything. So I find it's a really good way to start. Even if you're at like ground zero, can't do anything, which was my experience. I hadn't touched really exercise for 2 years, having gone through my own challenges. I got straight in there and was able to get straight in. And everyone's at different levels and different shapes and sizes and backgrounds, but everyone's really, 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 really friendly. Yeah.
Cool.
And that's why we have small groups, is that we can train a variety of people at different levels. So because of the small groups, we've got some people who haven't even touched a barbell or dumbbell because they just don't have the range of motion, or they might have just had surgery, or some of them are pregnant. Or we've got some people who have been training for the last 2 years and they're just looking for a bit of accountability, and maybe their training might have plateaued, so they're just looking for that extra push in the right direction. So some are doing like double body weight bench press or squats, whatever it may be. So yeah, you'll see, like, obviously the class itself looks a bit messy, but there's a reason behind it. So
The fascinating here is that you have no mirrors.
Yeah. I think that's really cool.
I never even realised that, but it's true. You don't.
Yeah.
I never thought about it.
Yeah.
I've been in sports all my life and gyms and all that, but I don't really like that part of the weightlifting and the weights, and everyone's looking at themselves. Yeah, am I doing it? I understand, but you have people there that help you. So I'm understanding, like, the mirror helps you to see if you're doing it right.
correct, yeah.
Right? But if you have someone there, you don't need a mirror.
Absolutely. And even
So
even some of the longer term people that have been going a bit longer will pull me up and say, Sarah, I don't think you're doing that right. Like, everyone helps everybody. And for me, like, I went in there and I couldn't lift a barbell because we're talking about 20, like, there was no chance. But that's okay. Everyone's, but there was everyone on different levels. So I had hand weights instead. So every exercise was catered specifically to me. And when I joined, Dave actually signed me up, and he checked my range of movements and things to see what my body was actually capable of doing and not capable of doing. So it's all very taken very seriously, but still loads of fun.
Yeah, we have a very thorough onboarding process.
Yeah.
So, I find this, I know I can say hand on heart, I think this is the best in Perth. And I've seen a lot of gyms, and a lot of people just sign like a waiver, or like they call them a park queue, and they'll literally just chuck them in.
Yeah.
So the way we do it is we'll get them down to the club. We've got like a fancy body scanner. It's not that fancy really, but we sell it as it is. But they'll do a scan. It gets like some starting numbers, in terms, it will say like their body fat and their muscle mass and stuff like that. Then we go through and we look at their nutrition. So we'll just get them just to record like a day's like a food diary. Because we don't give out meal plans, but we can offer guidance. So that maybe they're not eating enough protein per meal, or maybe their carbohydrates are too high, then maybe their portion control's lacking. So we'll go through that. We give them like a little welcome box, so they get a little TBC swag. So it's like got gift vouchers, it's got singlets, it's got a towel, so all that kind of stuff. And we take a photo and put it into the Facebook group and promote that.
Awesome.
But the biggest thing we do is like a movement screening. So again, we'll just have a look at what they can do. So when it does come to their first class, the coach will know what they can do. So it doesn't disrupt the flow. It doesn't, they're not going to get injured because they know what they can do and what they can't do. And like really the first week, they're not really touching a barbell because they're going to be quite sore and their range of motion's not going to be there. So, so basically they just want to get them in there, just get them moving, and then obviously work on the recovery that first week because they're going to be sore no matter what they do.
So question, can anyone just rock up, or do you have to book your appointment or your time slot?
We used to do where they had to book, but it just became a nightmare, logistical nightmare. So they just rock up. Now, if there's more than 10 people, we'll have a second coach in there. So we still got that 10 people to one coach.
Okay.
But But that being said, it probably is a consistent 10 each time. So,
Do people like do different exercises? Like you have equipment there, and you go, you do this and you do that kind of thing, or
yeah, correct. So depending, what you can do and what Sarah can do, Sarah might be doing something, a variation of what you're doing. But generally speaking, most people are doing. So say for example, someone's doing like a squat. Some might be using a barbell. Some might be doing a dumbbell. Some might just be doing body weights, or just completely change it if they've got some sort of knee or hip issue. So you like I said, when you're looking from the outside in, you'll be like, well, why is this person doing that and that and that? It's just because
it's so you have like a tailored program for them.
Correct. Yeah. So there's still, it's like, so it's not like personal training like one-on-one, but they are getting that.
Is it like the CrossFit, the TRX that I hear about all the time?
Yeah, we do have TRXs, and some will be using TRXs definitely at the very start because, if they can't like retract their shoulder blades, then that's a good start for them to. Well, that's a good place for them to start with is a TRX. It's low impact, it's safe, as long as you don't let go of the TRX, and fall backwards. But again, we just want people to feel it where they should be feeling it. They're training the muscle group so they can feel it, but then also training the movement itself. So, very much. Some will be using the bars, but some will be using TRXs.
And how long does each session go for?
45 minutes. So it's pretty. They go so quick.
Yeah.
Once you get started, they just literally fly by.
You can't keep me in a gym more than 45 minutes. I don't. I refuse to. I go to the gym I go to because it's got a pool as well. So I go, Kwinana. I just go in there. I have the hydro and all that. I need to relax afterwards.
Well, you float as well. We were talking about this before. Me and Sarah don't float in water. He's a floaty.
Yeah, I just love it. Yeah, but I can't. I used to play like yourself as well. Like I prefer time on the pitch. Or on court, than being in the gym. Yeah,
It doesn't feel like the gym to me. Like I mean, I've been to gyms before, but because you're with other people and you're laughing and sharing along the way, and my trainer constantly tells me I have to smile. So she like it doesn't matter how hard you're working, you got to smile. And so the time just goes really quickly because you're working hard, but I don't know, you're doing it together. It's just different. Yeah, and sometimes I get to the end of the 45 and I still think there's a round to go, and there's not. And that's not because I'm not hurting, because I'm puffing or whatever, but it's just because it's gone so quickly.
And so membership-wise, what will it cost for someone to come? Is it like monthly, yearly?
Good question. So what we do, first and foremost, we put everyone into our 28-day program. So no matter what they've done previously, everyone goes into that. So the 28-day program is basically, in terms of the investment side of it, it's $299 for the 28 days. But they're going to get more coaching outside of the gym in those first 28 days, because that's what's going to set them up for long-term success. So everything we do is geared towards long-term health. But that being said, we have to lay the foundations first. That's things like going to bed at the same time, including weekends. That's drinking 1 litre to 25 kilos in body weight. So people just don't drink enough water. That's just making sure they're eating the rainbow. So they're having different coloured fruits, and veg. And those
if you paint chocolate different colours, does that count?
We could have dark chocolate.
Or rainbow cake.
My creative brain now is.
So that's we do a lot of habit tracking, a lot of recovery, and so once they've done their 28-day, then obviously we try and push them to stay on after, which we hope they do. They're not locked into though. If they don't want to, they don't want to. And then after that, the price can vary, so anywhere from like 65 to pretty much the same, like 75 on a weekly basis. But as long as they're doing like a minimum of 3 sessions a week, they're keeping some sort of food journal, food diary, they're doing their body scans as well, so it's basically all inclusive. Obviously we want to make people make the most of it. So that 28 days is, like I said, it's super important. It's
do they have to come in every day for those 28 days? Or?
No, the minimum is 3 sessions, and we hold people accountable to those 3 sessions.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be set days, I ideally, yeah, anywhere between 3 to 4 times a week is kind of much the sweet spot. If they can do 5, fantastic, but at the start, the recovery is probably lacking somewhat, so it's probably not advised to do 5.
Awesome. So how?
If you're going to start off with 5, you might just burn yourself down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think 3 would probably be a good
Yeah,
one to start.
I would start with 2 myself, and then build up to 3, and stay at 3.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wouldn't go more. I know. Yeah, it's just how everyone is.
Yeah, most people are already inflamed because they've made some poor habits or poor choices with their food. They're eating processed foods. Their omega-6s are sky high and their omega-3s are down here at the bottom. And they're just they're just feeling their digestive system's probably somewhat lacking. They're bloated, cramps, not going to the toilet on a regular basis. So all those kind of things. So I'd rather work on that first than worry about if they're hitting 5 sessions a week or not.
Yeah.
Like, let's deal with the fundamentals. And it's like, if you're going to do 5 sessions, but you're always bloated every day, it's like, well, what's the point? You might as well, you're just not going to get anywhere.
Yeah.
It's the bad habits that you got to start
Correct.
confronting and being, what you said, accountable for.
Yeah, 100%.
Is that why? Because I mean, they reckon, I don't know how true it is, but good habits or any habit takes about 28 days to kind of get into a habit. Is that kind of why you have that, or?
I just find we've tried everything. Like, literally, we have tried everything. We've tried 6 weeks, 9 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, 21 days. We just found that 28 day was the kind of like the sweet spot. It just kind of worked in terms of like compliance, results, the coaching. We just found that 28 days was a sweet spot. So, but yeah, I don't know how much. I think each habit can be different in terms of how long it takes, but generally speaking, I'd probably say, somewhere between 3 to 5 weeks is probably a good time really for those habits to stick. So that's, I think sleep would obviously be a lot longer, but things like just meal prepping and drinking your water, I'd definitely expect to see some sort of routine after 21 days.
And we're in Australia, we're in WA, like our omega-3 shouldn't be that low. Like fish is like
100%.
You know,
you can literally we walk down onto the foreshore and get something, right? So I just find, especially nowadays, like, it's so easy to just eat processed food. Like, it's a lot cheaper. Like, you can feed a family like with Hungry Jack's or McDonald's for like 10, 15, $20. You know, you go to Coles and Woolworths, they're jumping up their prices every second week by the looks of it. You know, like, milk's gone through the roof now, and you want to buy some good lean meats, stuff like that. Like, you expect to pay a premium, and for young families that can be quite hard, and that's where they've got to know the shortcuts. They've got to know when the specials are on, but also buying in bulk, which is always a lot cheaper, and then put it in the freezer. Like, I think as we all
you have to invest in the freezer.
I think we're all guilty of throwing food away. So I think just learning those, like how to meal prep and how to cook for the family in bulk, will save you a lot of money, obviously, in the long run. But people, like, you go down the street and every second building is a fast food joint now. It is, isn't it? And I think Australia's like number 2 in terms of obesity in the world. America on their own planet, because they're just everything's just bigger and better.
Universe far away.
So how quickly would you expect to see kind of improvements if someone's going 3 or 4 times a week and they do the 28-day program? What would be the key kind of things that the milestones you're looking for? So
we always, in the 28 days, we're looking if they're looking to lose some body fat or looking to lose some weight, it's like 2 to 4 kilos, or at least just some sort of progress, like whether it's like a dress size or pant size. Those definitely better sleep is definitely a big one. And then just some better lifestyle choices, so that they're having more variety of food, they're drinking more water. So those are the things that I look at very, very closely in the first month. It's like, as long as, like, because again, sometimes, especially with females fluctuate a lot more. They've got more complicated systems within their body than men. So they might not lose the weight, but they definitely look better, or they definitely feel better. So we don't always just want to rely on weight, because weight doesn't tell the whole picture and the whole story. So as long as there's other variables that we can track, then yeah. So
Yeah, so my posture's definitely improved. Like I don't know, I just feel like I've got a lot more strength, and I've already had to have like 2.5 weeks off because of that terrible cold I had. But despite that, yeah, I definitely feel like, I don't know, I feel less vulnerable in my body. I don't know how else to explain that, but I do feel like there's a bit more, my structure's a little bit stronger, which has been really good.
You've loosened up, but
Yeah,
then at the same time you've strengthened.
Correct,
your
yeah.
And my flexibility is also improved, which was a surprise because I didn't really expect that. But that's something that's really improved as well. And I've been told that my colour's changed since I've started as well. That I look a bit, improved when I come in.
We've
so.
told you that.
Yeah. I'm no longer green. No.
yeah, but that's what I mean. There's so many ways to track progress.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
as long as Sarah feels better, then that's what we care about. You know, so like I said, there's so many ways that you can win. I guess within TBC, you know, it doesn't, like I said, we're not like only a weight loss facility, you know. So as long as people feel better and they're making some better decisions, let's say for example, Sarah's parking her car further away and walking to work, you know, those little things. You know, what I do is I've got a Coles where I live, but I'll make sure I park as far away as possible, so then I have to get more steps in to go and walk. You know, and what I'll do is I'll walk down every single aisle. Even if I don't need to go down there, which may be a bit obsessive, but I'm very big on movement. And
We do not judge here.
So, but like I said, as long as Sarah's making progress in some shape, then that's all we really care about.
Do you kind of record the steps?
I do, yeah. I've got a nice fancy watch, so it tracks all my steps. So I find, a lot of people just don't move enough, especially now, like post-COVID, because my wife is, like a lot of other people, they're working from home. Yeah, sometimes they go in the office, but they're still not in the office
And that's a new norm.
It is, isn't it?
It's coming and it's gonna stay.
Yeah. And I think,
Unfortunately.
you're a lot more comfortable at home, right? You have your own office, or you sit on the couch and you don't move, and unless you have to go to the toilet or grab a drink. So, like you just like the kitchen's right next to you. Whereas when you're at work, sometimes you have to walk down the stairs, or you have to walk to the other end of the building. You know, like now, people just don't move as much. So I'm very big on people getting their daily steps for a couple of reasons. One, it's exposure to vitamin D, and as we know, a lack of vitamin D leads to depression.
Yeah.
But also just gets you moving more. You feel better. For cardiovascular health as well, like improves like your resting heart rate, your heart rate variability, your blood pressure.
We're a country where it's got so much sunlight.
But I think we just take it for granted. I think as human beings, we are very lazy. Everything's done for us in terms of like Uber Eats, and like we can order online whatever we want, pretty much. You got Netflix and Stan and all that kind of stuff. So I think it's only gonna get worse, I think. So
So you just need to encourage people to move. Even like, I like the thing about moving forward. Like, it doesn't matter if you're crawling, as long as you're moving.
Correct.
That's the main thing, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. As long as there's some sort of progression from last week or from a month ago or from a year ago, like it doesn't matter what it is. As long as you're heading into the right direction, like we believe in progression and not perfection. Because perfection doesn't exist, unfortunately.
Awesome. So, how can people get in touch with you?
Good question. I've got so many ways. Probably
Give it to us.
We're happy to have the list.
So Facebook's probably the biggest one. I'm very lucky. I've got a virtual assistant who works for me, and she controls all my social media.
Awesome.
So she's literally controls my Instagram, so I wouldn't even bother reaching me on that one. So either my email. Or the Facebook page on TBC. Or just
So
TBC
what's your
Rockingham.
Facebook page?
It's just TBC Rockingham.
Okay.
So,
And
or email it. So it's just dave@thebodyconsultants.com. So
okay,
that's probably
cool.
the best way. So I've so the Facebook. So what I've done is basically I was procrastinating a lot at one point. So I got rid of all my social media off my phone. So I just literally just deleted it. And so my VA we use a system called Slack. So she'll email me anything that comes up. But
I've heard of Slack, yeah.
yeah, Slack's brilliant. But yeah, I just literally just got rid of all that because I was just procrastinating. Like,
it does that to you though, doesn't it?
It does. But unfortunately, I need social media for the business.
Yeah.
For presence and omnipresence, if anything. So yeah, Facebook and email is probably the biggest one.
Cool. And if they want to drop in?
Yeah, they can come in anytime, literally, because we're not because we're a private training facility, we're not there all day. But if they drop in before 12 in the afternoon, and then after, like, say 3 p.m., like, we'll always be there. So it's just between 12 and 3, we're kind of just closed and just have some downtime and have some lunch and have a nap or two. Because we're up at like 4:15 in the mornings. So.
What time do you leave?
Well, I'm very lucky now that I work from home like 2 mornings and 2 evenings, so I get to spend time with the wife and with my son, but also just working from home. So I used to get there for about 5 in the morning, and then I probably wouldn't leave until like 8 o'clock. And that's when the gym was just opened up. It was struggling. That's what you got to do to build a business.
Yeah, it's the first mile. The first miles that you got to put in.
100%. Yeah, I can't stress that enough. As a small business, it's not given to you on a plate. So you have to put those hard yards in. Yes, it's not sexy, and it's straining on your life and on your health, and also in relationships if you are in one.
It's good to have support.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. But obviously, once you do that first, like I'd probably say like 12 to 24 months. I wouldn't say it gets easier. You just manage your time better. You've got staff, you've got systems, you've got operations. Whereas at the start, it's just like literally just trying to grab anybody and trying to get them into the gym. But so I'm lucky enough now that I've got 2 great members of staff for me, and also got my virtual assistants. So now I can work on the business and not work in the business.
Cool.
So, yeah.
That's an awesome way to end the interview.
Yes.
So thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Was there anything else that you wanted to mention about the body consultant? Anyone you wanted to do a shout out to?
Probably want to just, I don't give they probably don't know this, but I don't give my staff enough credit. They really have changed. I think the biggest thing, like a lot of businesses, just couldn't get the staff. Couldn't get the staff, so I was doing everything by myself. So that's like the marketing, the sales, the classes, the member check-ins and stuff like that. So definitely, like Ryan and Tanya have completely and utterly saved my well-being. If you like, I'm not stressed and strained and that kind of stuff. So
it's nice to have that acknowledgement.
It is, and I'm off to America next month for 4 weeks as well. So they're going to be looking after the gym for me. So yeah, definitely that, and obviously I guess my wife has always been there, especially when I'm cranky and it's the weekend and I'm still thinking about work and I should switch off. So definitely my staff have really they've only Tanya's been there since probably I'd say May, or no, actually she was there for about 2 weeks before I went to Bali, and then she took over. So she really, I threw her into the deep end.
Yep.
And then Ryan's been there probably about a month, but we used to work together at TBC Jandakot. So I've known him for quite a long time. So I can just trust him. I think that's the biggest thing when you have staff.
That's huge, isn't it?
I can I'm very confident going away next month for 4 weeks that when I come back, the gym will still be in one piece. And it's just having that staff, and it's I'm able to grow more than ever now and have more members than I ever have done because I've got the staff, and I don't have to work in the business. I can work on it. So, definitely my staff have been absolute, just the best thing ever. So.
Very cool. I think it's really important that the staff are aware of that, isn't it? Because, you just do your job, but it's nice to be appreciated. And
very, very nice, being humble and appreciated.
It is, and I appreciate you both.
Thank you, Chris. We appreciate you too.
Yeah, so
and Paul for being there for
and
us
Paul,
too.
we will appreciate him.
Like I said, I wouldn't be here today without my staff, and yeah, like so Ryan, for example, he comes around my house every afternoon and uses my internet and does like the work because he lives in Carousel or by Carousel.
Oh,
so
okay.
it's a fair distance.
Travels
for him
a long way.
Yeah. So instead of him going home in the afternoon and then, well, in the morning and then come back for the afternoon, he just literally crashes at my place and just has a sleep or does some work. And
Cool.
and yeah, Tanya's been, she's actually really surprised me. When I took her on board, I was like, yeah, I wanted her, but also you also in the back of your mind, you're like, is this gonna work and stuff like that. But she's just like, yeah, she's just ticked all the boxes.
She's amazing.
Yeah, she looks after Sarah.
Yeah, she does. She's just a pocket rocket of fun.
Yeah,
and yeah, she keeps you on track.
I mean, she's so different as well to me and Ryan. So it's good that
And you need that.
Yeah, correct.
That
Right.
versatility.
Like yin and yang
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So like Tanya's like this. Like I'm a bit, I wouldn't say moody or cranky, but I just don't have Tanya's energy.
You're English.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So Tanya,
She is a pocket rocket. She's
Tanya's
just full of joy and excitement.
Yeah, she's just like a energizer bunny, if you like. Whereas me and Ryan are a bit more serious and a bit more like we'll just call people out in a nice way. Whereas Tanya's like put some arm around her and like me and Ryan will give people tough love in terms of like get their ass in the gym or whatever. But Tanya's more like put her arm around their shoulder and it'll be all right and you'll be fine and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, like you said, it's yin and yang, and so it's
That's awesome.
It's been a really good.
You know what you're doing. You're playing good cop, bad cop.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know the way.
We do it here.
Yeah, we do it all the time.
Yeah.
I'm usually the bad guy.
Aw.
Now I'm not.
No. All right, awesome. Well, thanks again so much for coming in. We really appreciate
Nice
it,
meeting
and
you.
Likewise.
maybe we'll have you in again.
Sounds good. Love it. Thank you.
Thanks, Dave.